Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Unlock the Day. I am your host, Warren Leaf, and today we are going to be talking about tips for holding yourself accountable and why accountability is just so important. So, accountability is really a crucial aspect of our personal and our professional growth. It involves taking responsibility for our actions, for our decisions, and our commitments. Holding yourself accountable can lead to increased productivity and can improve your relationships and overall success in various areas of your life. I want to talk about some of those areas today and really how they're going to impact and affect you. So let's start with goals. One aspect that's really important is establishing specific goals. So they're referred to as SMART goals, and they refer to specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals. You see SMART goals a lot in corporate life where, as you're setting up your year, what are your goals for the year? How are you going to accomplish them? SMART goals are critical in your day to day as well because they provide you a clear roadmap to move yourself forward, to take actionable steps going forward, and just really making it easier for you to track your progress, which leads into the next piece, which is prioritizing your tasks. So, when we talk about prioritizing tasks, it's really breaking them down into what are the most important tasks you need to prioritize. You want to focus on the tasks that are highest priority, that give you the best benefit and the best outcome. And then as you work your way down your list, it goes to lesser and lesser priority items. And this will really keep you on track and will keep you from avoiding procrastination. In another series, we're going to talk specifically about procrastination and positive and negatives, but just understand for today's show, we're talking procrastination in a negative way where it's really holding you back from what you really want to accomplish. A huge benefit, a huge way to keep yourself accountable is to create a to-do list. Whether it's a daily, a weekly, a monthly, having that list will keep you on track. So you write down your tasks. Really important aspect of that was, what is the deadline? When you wanted to have something done, because that's going to hold you accountable to make sure you reach that deadline. To-do list will also they'll keep you organized because you're going to have that visual list of what you need to do. And it goes back to the prioritization where, as you're prioritizing your work, you have a to-do list that works in conjunction with those priorities, making sure that you get everything done that you want to accomplish. Something that a lot of people don't think about, but that's really important in accountability, is sharing your commitments with other people, a friend, a spouse, a loved one, people at work, right? Even when we're talking about work, when people are aware of your intentions, when people are aware of what it is that you want to do, that holds you more accountable because now you have other people kind of watching your actions. What are you doing and how are you achieving that? So make sure that as you have these high profile, really important things you want to achieve, that other people are aware of it because not only are they going to hold you accountable, but they're going to see your progress. And as you're growing, that's really important that people see the progress that you're making. Technology is great, right? And so we have all these new tools that are out there. So if, like me, I have a variety of applications that I use to keep me on track. And you don't want to get swamped with too many applications because then you really kind of lose track of where you are. Have what works best for you. I have a journaling app. I have a spreadsheet. I don't do a lot with a lot of different technology, but I like technology that I can have on my laptop, I can have on my phone. So I'm constantly in sync with what I'm trying to achieve. When it comes to your goals, it's important to take those goals and break them down into measurable steps. And we talked about SMART goals earlier. As you have your goals and as you have your to-do list, take those goals, take those steps and break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with having to do so much that's when the procrastination kicks back in because now you're feeling overwhelmed. So take your tasks, take your goals, break them down into measurable parts, and then see how much more efficient you are because everything's kind of broken down and ready to go for you. as you're doing all this work, one of the really key things that we do, and if when you do it, if you're doing a project plan, it really comes into play is setting deadlines. When do you want to accomplish certain things? You don't want to do it obviously all at once, but going back to the higher to lower priority tasks, if you set deadlines for each of those tasks, again, you're going to be holding yourself accountable to make those dates and making the adjustments that you need to make sure you're making those dates. One thing that you can do for yourself, and whether you work with other people to hold you accountable for that, is monitor your progress. How are you doing? What's working well? What isn't working well? What adjustments do you need to get back on track? That's really important to have those regular check-ins. You could do it yourself every day. If you're doing something like journaling and you're recording your notes, look at your notes, review your notes, see what's working well, what isn't working well, what adjustments you need to make to get yourself back on track, but continuously monitor your progress so you know exactly where you are. For me personally, as I journal through the week, at the end of the week, I look at all my notes. What really worked well for me? What changes do I need to make? Did I accomplish what I wanted to accomplish? And most importantly, did I meet the deadlines that I set for myself? And if I didn't, why not? What broke? What fell apart that forced me to not make my dates? And it could be other priorities that happen to jump in that you didn't plan on, but an external source gave you something that you weren't planning on and kind of messed up your day. So you need to kind of stay focused on that. Talking about previously, we talked about communicating publicly, if you will, what your goals are. Find yourself an accountability partner, that one person who you can check in with that's going to hold you accountable. Hey, you said you were going to do this today. Did you get it done? Oh, you didn't do it? Why not? And then that's going to put a little bit more priority around what you're trying to do and holding yourself more accountable to those steps that you want to take. So working with an accountability partner is going to kind of keep you on task to make sure that you're doing exactly what you said you were going to do. Find that accountability partner, someone who's willing to work with you, and make sure that they really are staying on task with you to hold you and themselves accountable for your actions. At the end of the week, when things go well, reward yourself. Acknowledge the benefits of what you've accomplished, the work you've done, the progress that you've made. You may not do everything you wanted in that week, but where there are successes, you need to acknowledge those successes. It's really important internally that you recognize the good things that you've done and accomplished. So make sure you take time to do that. Conversely, you want to learn from your mistakes. What didn't work well and why? Take the time to really look at the steps you took that didn't work and why they didn't work and what you can do in the future to make sure that they do. Everything we do is a learning tool. Everything we do is a learning step. So not everything we do the first time is going to work, but we need to adjust. We need to learn from it. We need to move forward. So learn from your mistakes. Don't take it as a failure. And honestly, failure could be a good thing because it means that you really tried. You gave it your effort. Regroup, readjust, go back, do it again. Learning from your mistakes is a really key learning tool. Stay consistent in everything you do, right? We talk about all the time, every episode, intentionality, consistency, and discipline. Those are the pillars that are going to make you successful. By keeping yourself intentional, by staying disciplined and consistent, you have a very high success rate ahead of you. So it's really, really important that you stay consistent in every aspect of what you're doing and looking at the results you're going to get from doing so. Sometimes we don't want to hear this, but seeking feedback from others when it's done in a constructive way is very beneficial for you. So take the time, have that accountability partner, those other people that you've communicated your goals to, reach out to those people and say, hey, what worked well? What didn't? How did I do on this project? Sometimes, even though it's constructive criticism, it's still criticism. So you kind of have to be willing to hear that back. But all of that is really fundamental for fixing what didn't work and getting you back on track. So take the time to listen to what people have to say, take note of what they have to say, and then implement those changes the next time you're doing something and see how it's going to make a difference in your plan. Talked about it a little bit earlier, flexibility. It is so vitally important that you stay flexible, because if you're too rigid in what you're doing and something comes in on the side that you weren't expecting, it can really, really mess things up for you. So staying flexible and staying consistent in what you're doing is really, really important. Understand that things may come in and just change what you're doing. That's okay. You just have to adjust and reformulate your plan and just keep moving forward. But keep that plan going and then adjust as you need to. And then finally, it really comes down to self-reflection, right? It's what did I do well? What didn't I do well? Why didn't it go well? And what can I do better the next time? Those are just really important pieces to the puzzle. Most importantly, though, stay positive. Like I said, not everything we do is a win. There's going to be failures. There's going to be disappointments. There's going to be mistakes made. Keep yourself positive. Having that positive attitude really is going to help you be more accountable for what you're doing and move yourself forward. And really, lastly, be patient, right? Everything takes time. You're not going to get things right the first time, every time. So be patient with yourself. Take time for yourself. Back away. Get some private time. Get some quiet time. We're always so immersed in everything we're doing. We forget to be patient with ourselves and care about ourselves. So make sure you're making time for yourself and really, really keep yourself moving forward. I talked about it before, and that is consistency. It really is the key to everything you do. Intentionality, consistency, discipline really are the pillars. So when we talk about holding yourself accountable, just understand that accountability in every part of your life will help you achieve your goals. It'll help you determine really define the best version of yourself. So go to, if you want more information about it, please go to my website, unlocktheday.com. I hope you found these tips beneficial, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks so much.